Good morning. Joe Ciaccio here. Today we're going to talk about something that is probably, I think, the most important part about what we do. Our job starts from the hello to the goodbye. So in my mind, what I do is that I try to break up every process of the presentation, the transition, the discussion, all the stuff into 10 parts. And the last part is the cool down. And what ends up happening is that we're sometimes so excited that we have made a sale. What we do is now we decide we're going to kind of make shortcuts. We don't need to do this cool down all the way because the person said they wanted and they bought it. Well, I'm going to give you something to kind of think about. Don't do that. Because what ends up happening is something that we've all encountered, even ourselves, is something called buyer's remorse. So what ends up happening, we're going to go through this whole process, run out because we got another appointment that the person may not be there, and we're going to end up losing the sale. Now, the only way, let me change that word only. The ways to prevent a person not keeping a policy with you is not to deviate from the beginning. The original hello at the door, the hello at the couch or the dining room table, wherever you guys decide to sit at, through all the steps you go through, when you go from one step to another step, pause. Do you have any questions? Is what I'm saying something that is what you want? We're going to take care of your son, take care of your husband, take care of your spouse. Stop, take a breath. You're not in an actual race. You need to go slow to capture their attention because you got to sit and think about what you want them to be in is your quicksand. You want them to slowly be going down deeper and deeper and deeper. And the more information you give to them, the more valuable wording that you share with them, the deeper they go into that there, to where when they go to make a decision, I don't want it, I want to think about it, they're going to kind of say, well, no, Joe said this, Jack said this, Larry said that there, Francine said this way here. Let me don't get all wound up. Now, there is a form that's in the agent office, back office, and it's form number 11. I'm going to recommend you guys to print this form out. I'm going to tap over it a little bit. It's number 11 on the back, which gives you a lot of things that I'm going to go over today. Now, you got to sit back and ask yourself what I'm going to tell you now. Now, if you're a rookie agent, you just started, you may not even had anybody cancel on you or buyer's remorse. Yet, what I will promise you is going to happen. So, the only way for you to try to prevent that from happening is to go down the list of what we're going to do today. You will get a phone call from your client and they're going to sit and tell you, you know, Rob, I thought about it and I kind of want to hold off on it. I talked about it with my kids and they say I don't need anything. I thought about it and I just really can't afford that amount. It's just something, I don't know why I move so fast. I normally discuss it with my sister. They're going to give you whatever excuse that they can think of at that time to where you are going to say, okay, and cancel it. Or they may be slick and they'll call a carrier up. Hello, Mr. Carrier, this is Jimmy Jones. Rob wrote me an application and I don't want it no more. The carriers don't say, well, let me get with your agent and have your agent call you. Carrier says, no problem, sir, and they cancel it. You may have one or two carriers that may give them maybe a courtesy call, but I haven't heard of any lately. So these are things I'm going to request for you to do. So when they do call you, you're going to do this here. You're going to have a client call you and they're going to say, I thought about it and I want to cancel my policy. Can you cancel it for me? Your answer is, yes, I can. Got no problem doing that there. What I need to do, I need to come by and have you sign this form so I can send it to the company, because what we did was a legal document. I need to have you come by and sign something stating you want to cancel the policy. Then from there I send it to the company and it's canceled. You do not want to try to find out the reason on the phone unless you're a phone sales guy, okay? If you're face-to-face, if you did a phone sale but you can travel 30 minutes to their house, get in your car and go. I need to have you sign this form, and when the form is signed, we'll get with the company. I'll overnight it to them, I'll email it to them, I'll fax it to them, and I'm going to make you happy. All you're doing is trying to get in their house to find out the reason why they want to cancel it. That's all you're doing. You're not going to cancel it. You're not going to say, oh yeah, cancel it. I want to charge back the $800 I made. I don't want it no more. Don't worry about it, sir. Cancel it. You're not going to do that. You're going to do what you can on the phone, not to ruffle their feathers, not to let them think you're going to try to persuade them to do it. Now, they may sit and tell you, you cannot come by my house. You're going to go, okay. Do not sit and argue. Don't say, I have to come by. This is something that's required by the company. Tell them, okay. You want to not get confrontational on the phone. You can go out there later on that day and say, after I thought about it, this form needs to be signed, and go knock on their door. I'm going to say you probably got about a 75 to 80% chance they're going to let you in. You're going to get some people not going to answer the door. They're going to ghost you, which is part of life in general. So you're going to sit down and you're going to talk to them. You're going to find out the reason why they want to cancel. Now, the reason they want to cancel usually has to do with something that you did not do, or you did not cross your T or dot your I where you were in the house. This is why I am a proponent of you guys going slow in the house, slow doing your presentation, allowing them to ask questions, and then when it gets towards the end, you're putting everything in your briefcase and going everything with them. You're going to go even slower to where you're going to revisit the reason they sent the card in. Now, when the deal is over on this form, it's going to tell you some of the things that you should have done at the beginning, some of the things that you should do at the end. I have a red folder that I leave with every client, and I tell them in this folder is going to be a little piece of paper saying I am your policy, and that form is going to re-solidify the reason I was here and you bought this program from me. And the reason you bought this program is because you said you don't have enough money in savings. You said your kids cannot afford to pay for this year. You told me you didn't want to burden your children or your spouse with this responsibility. And this is what you felt was the best way to do it, to where you could make things easier when you pass away. So as you're doing the cool down, you need to revisit why they sent the card in. Tell them the reason that they did it was because of that reason, and add some fluff to it to make them feel that they made the best decision in the whole world. Because what ends up happening with everybody, you go to buy something and you're looking at, and I like using furniture. You go to the store and you look at 3 or 4 different stores and you finally find a couch that you like. It matches well, it blends well, it's just the right size, it's not too bulky. It costs about $500 more than what you want to spend. But that sales guy tells you It's 100% pure leather. It's got the automatic lifts for your feet to raise them up. We're going to throw in the warranty package. We're going to throw in the blemish if it gets messed up. We're going to throw it all in, build it into the price. And he's trying to justify why you should spend $500 more. So at that particular moment, you're saying, damn, this is a deal. This is a bargain. Then you're leaving and you go home waiting for them to deliver it. You go, man, that's a lot of money we spent on that couch, honey. We ought to maybe go get the other one we saw at the other store, which is less expensive. We don't have the kids there that much, so they're probably not going to mess the furniture up. Do we really need that little button to bring out the legs? So now you start second guessing what you're doing. Clients do the same thing. So we have to make sure that when we leave their house, we as agents are reinforcing to them that they made a great decision. They're going to leave the burden, the pressure, make life easier when this sad day comes. Okay? Now, in my red folder, I have the I Am Your Policy. There's usually, the carriers have a final wish planning guide. I know that Rural Neighbors has one, off the top of my head has one. You can order from the carriers, they're for free. You go over that with the client. I like leaving brochures with the client because brochures look impressive, and you're going to put your company card on one or two of those brochures. If you need more cards, or you're ready to make a change because you're tired of the cards you have, I'm going to recommend you to get a card with your picture on it. You can get it from Instaprint. Is that right, Jay? Instaprint?
Vista?
I mean Vista, V-I-S-T-A print. You design your card on there, send it to them. It's very economical. It's a very good deal with your picture on it. I like to leave things about the reason for final expense. I like to leave stuff about Medicare, Medicare Advantage, something else in there so when they get this package, it looks like it's big. Conditional receipts. I've got a generic conditional receipt that I fill out, because now you do all this stuff on your computer or iPad, there's nothing you can really give. I do a generic conditional receipt, put in the client's name, Mr. Frankie Jones, $10,000, $82.14, drafting on the 3rd of October, put down the beneficiaries, your spouse Margaret, your son Anthony, your daughter. I think I actually almost put half the application on that conditional receipt. So now they're seeing what we've done. Because when you do it on the computer, they don't have a copy of the application. They're going to get it when they get the policy. Yet you're worried about when you leave, what are they going to think? You buy that furniture, they're going to give you the receipt, they're going to give you the buyer's guide, they're going to give you the paperwork if it gets blemished or something malfunctional. They're going to give you this long little rectangular thing with all these papers. When you leave, you're holding papers. You've actually bought something. When it comes to life insurance, it's an intangible. You don't have nothing. And when you get it, you're not going to sit on it. You're not going to look at it. You're not going to eat it. You're going to put it in a drawer and you're going to forget about it. So it's an intangible purchase that they're purchasing this not for them, for the beneficiary, yet they're doing it for the peace of mind of why they're doing it. Now, in that little red lead behind, I've got some company cards in there. I've got a little personal bio about me that I give to them when I get there. A lot of people like showing a picture of their family with a dog, maybe them at a picnic or something, to let the client know that they're an everyday man or everyday woman. They've got a family. This is their job. So they're kind of letting the client get into their personal life. We're asking them their date of birth, their social security, all that personal stuff. I feel you got to give them a little bit about you to where they don't think that you're just there and gone. I like to get their email, put them on an email drip list. Let them know that you're still in the insurance business. I send them a thank you card. I go to the dollar store, I buy them 8 of them for $1. Okay, they got all these different ones you can pick from. I usually have them already with my actual return sticker on top. On the inside, it's already written down, thank you very much, whatever lingo you want to put in there. Sign your name, Joe, and then leave room on the top to put Mr. Jones or Frank, whatever you them as. Stamps, put the stamp on it, put the name on it, and dump it in the mail when you're leaving. Solidifies that you're going to go one step further than the other person. Email addresses I like. Send an email once a month. September is National Life Insurance Month. All these different things by standing in front of people. If you do Medicare Advantage, send them something in the month of October or the month of September, letting them know that AEP is coming up. Leave behinds. Okay? Now, what agents do, and I said this in the beginning, they sometimes rush to get through because they either have another appointment or their ADD is kicking in and they want to go. A bird in hand is worth more than 2 in the bush, guys. When you got somebody in front of you, stop, go over everything. I tell them, I said, before I leave, part of my job is to go over what you decided and we discussed. And they've already got all this red folder in front of them. And I said, all the answers to what I'm going to ask you is in that red folder. I actually want them to look through it to where I can see that they're looking through it. I said, what is the name of the company that we just enrolled you with? I'm going to say 50% I've already forgotten, okay? The other 25% is going to start guessing, okay? And then you may get 25% and say, yep, Royal Neighbors, yep, Mutual Omaha, you know, whoever you put them with. Say, okay, how big was the program we started today for you? $10,000. What are your monthly amounts you're going to be sending in? They're going to say around $72, yeah, right around $72. And you already have this stuff memorized, tattooed, blueprinted in your brain exactly what it is. So that's correct. What day of the month is the bank going to send that amount to the carrier at no charge? They're not going to charge you no fee for that. 3rd of the month. Okay. So we've done you with Royal Neighbors. You got a $10,000 policy. The exact amount is $72.31, but it's probably easier if you remember, just keep $75 in your account. The bank's sending it on the 3rd of the month, and you're going to be getting your policy within 5 to 7 business days. Okay? The reason we did this here, my job is, the reason you did this here is because you didn't want the burden for your all that stuff. You're going to go over what they sent the card in for and what you heard and you discussed. This is why it's so important to listen to what they're saying, write some of the little notes down on a piece of paper, and not to interrupt them and listen to them talk. Because the more they speak with you, the better chance you have of them keeping it, instead of you wanting to be a motor mouth and talk, thinking that's what you're supposed to do. The best thing about sales is to speak, listen more, ask open-ended questions to where they feel comfortable. Years ago, I was at a house, did this exact same routine I'm telling you. I told the lady, so what are your payments? She goes, she gave me the old, I don't want to spend that amount of money. She says, it's about 47 and change, it's, 47 and change. And her look did not look like she was comfortable with that. So instead of me being a hero and walking out, going to my car, writing down 47.15, I said, do you feel comfortable with that payment? This is before you did everything with the iPad. This is all before iPad days. She goes, Joe, to be honest with you, that's a little bit out of my range. So I already know I can bump people up. I know I can close. I know I had her in my quicksand, and I know she bought because of what I was talking with her about. So now I got to sit and say, do I want no commission because she may cancel it, or do I want to ask her what would make her feel more comfortable? It was 47 and change, I know for a fact. I said, would you like me to lower that to like $42, $43? She gave me, I said, does $40 make you feel more comfortable? She goes, yes, that makes me feel more comfortable. So I'm there thinking, $7 to us at certain times of the month is a lot of money. But on a regular basis, is $7 that much? You got to sit and think about it. These people live Social Security check, month to month, or a part-time job in Social Security once a month. They're on a more strict budget than us. So before you leave, you want to make sure that when they say that amount, that they can afford to pay it. Now you're not going to sit and say it's $47.19. Say, now is that too much for you? You're not going to say that. Yet you're going to start learning the feedback of them. You've already had them through like a lie detector test, and you're already judging how they're speaking, how they're coming back to you, how they're responding, what they're saying. When that tone of that voice changes, when you start going about what it's going to cost at the end, and you've already done the actual application, don't sit and go nowhere and say, I'm going to, hopefully they don't cancel it. You want to leave with them knowing that they feel comfortable. Because if you get too quick, they don't want to call you because they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed because they signed on the dotted line. American Amicable, this is Frankie Jones. Your guy just wrote a policy for me, and I want to cancel it. The carrier's not going to ask why. The carrier's going to say, okay. So, in closing, back office, number 11. I have all the stuff written down for you guys. Before you leave a house, re-solidify what you've done. Put it through a little schooling, the name of the carrier, the amount, the day. Go over with them that they made a great decision. If they have any questions, please call me. My job is started. And also, I appreciate everything you've done. I've done handshakes, I've done hugs, I've done it all. Because when I leave that house, I want to make sure I do everything in my power to make them feel that they made the greatest decision, they got the best program, there's nothing better out there. I'm the #1 agent, and I'm here for them when that sad day comes. Okay, guys. Oh, don't forget a thank you card. One more thing I wanted to say. Referral sheet. At that time, you can do referral. Ask them then. If you're into delivering your policies, you can do the referral then. What I do, not all the time, but some of the time, depending on the client, I give them a referral sheet as I'm writing down all their prices. So you think about how you want to do that. We'll talk about referrals next time or time after. So hit them hard, go straight, go forward, do not deviate, take your time. We love you. You got any questions, call us. Hit them hard, drive safe, be careful. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.